that Yemen vote was so disgusting to me because, wait, so we had the power this whole time to make a difference?
Yeah.
We just weren't?
That's right.
A journalist died, and then the press decided, hey, we're actually going to report on this, and people got upset, and then senators fucking know what's going on over there, and all of a sudden Bernie Sanders is showing up once there's a shift and go, oh, we're going to stop it because the babies and
I'll tell you something.
The whole fucking time you could have done that.
I think, let me say this. You're absolutely right that a journalist died, and all of a sudden people went, this is getting a lot of attention. Maybe we should end a war of genocide.
Yeah,
that's going on. Maybe we should just stop slaughtering children. And it's even worse because it's not just that we're slaughtering children. We should stop starving babies to death. Like that you're absolutely right about that. But the one thing I think you might be wrong on is where you said these are senators, so they know what's going on. I think people would be shocked if they actually realized how little some of your elected officials know. Like, I really think they're in a
less
different
informed
world
than I am.
Yes.
How's that possible?
They're in a different world, Rob. They're more informed about things you're not informed about, like how to fucking pay off this lobbyist, how to get something through, how to get some pork spending through, how to sign this into law, how to get reelected. Yeah. Let me tell you this, and we'll close on this, okay? This was a story that Ron Paul used to tell, and he never gave up who the member of the House was, but he did say she when he was talking about it. So you might be able to figure out who it was, because this is when Ron Paul was on the House Banking Committee. And Ron Paul used to once you get on the committee or the House Finance Committee or something like that, and once you get on these committees, Ron Paul would be able to hold hearings, and you would see these hearings held in, it would be the 5 members of the House who are up there, and Ron Paul would call these witnesses in, and no one was there, no one gave a fuck, but they'd run on C-SPAN, and Ron Paul would call in Jim Gray or someone to talk about how the Fed creates bubbles and all these things, and Ron Paul said that this woman is on the House Banking Committee. She's a member of the committee, not just a member of Congress. This is the committee she's on. And he said he had this whole thing, he had this whole hearing or whatever, blah, 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 this whole thing. And it ends. And he said she came up to him afterward and she was like, you kept, this is, I guess, in the 90s or something like that. And she goes, you kept talking about the gold standard and you kept bringing up this gold standard thing the whole time, but aren't we on a gold standard? And he was like, what? No, that's what I'm talking about. We've been off the gold standard since the early 70s.
Like the Dumb and Dumber. We landed on the moon?
Yes. So this is actually, as terrifying as it is, that is the reality of a lot of these things. They're kind of on a need-to-know basis. A lot of them. Now, some of them know exactly what the fuck's going on. The late, great John McCain knew exactly what the fuck was going on and loved it and probably jerked off to the thought of dead kids every night. He knew what was going on, but not all of them do. Not all of them do. I think there's a lot of fucking ignorance out there. But regardless, your point, your outrage still stands that this whole time they could have done it. And that's the tragedy of all this shit. Yeah. That's the tragedy of all these fucking wars. It's like we could have just not done this. All of them. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Yemen. We could have just not done it. It's that simple. It's not like there was some fucking threat. It's not like there was even a thing. It was a Gaddafi. Fucking Gaddafi could just still be in control of Libya. There wouldn't be a slave trade going on right now. In Yemen, this is just completely unnecessary. The fucking Houthis, this is just insane. We got a million cases of cholera over the fucking Houthis. It's out of some fucking dystopian novel. And then it's just, again, it's all some fucking, just living in the Matrix that Donald Trump would announce he's pulling a few thousand troops out, and that would cause the outrage. Not destroying entire nations, not starving children to death, not slaughtering people by the hundreds of thousands, but, bringing some troops home to be with their family. There's the outrage for you.